Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be covering Bitcoin and Ethereum and see what some price action we can expect for the next couple of days, maybe even the week. But I think you know, and I know that's rather hard to tell, especially right now, but we're going to go over it either way. And before we start, go ahead and drop down, subscribe, support our channel, and drop a comment at the end of the video and let me know what you think is going to happen within the next couple of weeks as far as Bitcoin and Ethereum go. So diving right in, Bitcoin right now is trading around 61,040 bucks and well 50 cents, but I don't think you really care to know all of that. But either way, we were talking about it last week, and we were talking about it potentially if it comes up breaking the trend line and also returning. That's what we were fearing because it could actually signify that it's going to continue to downturn. Now, I know there were some talks about Bitcoin actually reaching 50,000. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, I had even mentioned that before that it could drop down to around 50,000. And it's a high possibility. It's not something that it's just speculation. We're talking about market structures, right? And you always hear me saying this, and I'm going to repeat it probably almost in every video. But major market structures, it always returns, and we have this major market structure right here in the past. Now we have this one. So there's actually like three different variants that we have, right? So let me just we have this one, which is the most recent. We have this one, let's count that as one. So let's just say two, right? So here we've already returned to this market structure. But then the most previous is this one, which is major. This is a major, major market structure, right? So this one right here is what has me thinking that we can return to 50,000. Not only me, but other analysts as well. So two options, like I said, that we can have. So major market structures and a pretty big market structure, given right around in May, right? So May was a big moment here, and we also have back in February. So we've already returned to this market structure, just proof that it worked, that it does do that. Now this retractions, this retracements that's coming back and up, that's kind of really the same structures here, so we don't count those. But however, we have returned to this one, which is the 61,000 mark from our previous high of around 71,000 that we touched, right? So if we come down here, you can see we're going to drop down around 52,000 or so, and I mean within inside of this window. So this window is what has us um, right around here. So 52, 50 grand, right? So being at the ending here, the close of the day, 50,000 and 52. So between 52 and 50,000 is where we can reach. Now, um, on the positive note, right? So let's just say if we stick to the most recent market structure that we've produced. So as you can see, we have some retracements coming back up, some ups and some downs. Now we are not doing well today. But if it bounces off the support level, and the support is rather strong. I mean, we have 1 point of good solid contact, two, three, four, and then of course what we're at now, five. So this is a pretty solid, and that's not even going in the further time frame, right? So this is a pretty solid support level. If we maintain and bounce off this and come up, and we're kind of, even if we're getting rejected around 63,000, that's not so bad. It's between 63 and 4, we could start to come back up, and giving that last previous market structure that we had, we could actually return back to 71 with the perception that we don't have any resistance coming in. Now, where will our resistance kind of really be? Between 65, and if we could push between that. So 65, and then of course 67. So right around in this window area, so 65, 67 is where we'll see some resistance before we can start making our way back up to 70 grand. On the positive note. On the negative note, if we break past this support, the only thing that's really stopping us is 59, and not even really that strong, and that could trigger some. Honestly, that could trigger some stop losses and just drive us down to 50, 52 or so. So we'll need to be paying attention to that. That's what I'm expecting, either one of those two options. But given that we just need to kind of watch the candles and really be paying attention at the 60,000 mark is where we kind of need to put our focus on at this time. So that's what is happening with Bitcoin. And of course, Ethereum does kind of follow along, but let's take a look at that now. I'm not even jumping to the weekly time frame. I mean, just because daily we need to pay attention to it to see what's happening. Because if we break above the resistance level here, it's a good moment to be paying attention to. And probably if you haven't entered the market, or if you're going to re-enter the market again with some additional funds, then this area. But right now, the next 3 or 4 days, we need to be paying attention to. All right, so Ethereum is trading at $3,000 right now, so 3,365 bucks. The same thing. So as you can see, we've kind of broke over the trend line. Now I don't place my trend lines exactly. I'm not going to do all of that just because I need an idea of where it's going to go. I'm not going to count $1 or $2 or even $100. I'm just not going to count that just because it doesn't matter. I just need to see a general direction, right? This is my opinion. Let me know in the comments if you agree with me, if you disagree with me, either way. But the same thing with Bitcoin is that market structure that we were talking about, right? So here's that major market structure that we had last time, from $3,000, and then we peaked out around almost $4,000. So that was kind of something, or that is something that I believe we'll return to. Now, the negative side of that is also dropping around exactly 3,100 bucks, right? So right around that, we'll see that resistance too around 3,200 or so. We already see that too, even before that, where we are now sitting on the resistance level. Now we're returning and we're bouncing off that. Now, of course, I've had to move the resistance level a little bit just because we've kind of already solidified the new one. And we're just kind of showing points here between this area. We already have several points of contact with our candles. So if we maintain and bounce above that, great. We'll see the resistance again around 3,400 bucks. And also 37. Now 37 is going to be a strong one. That's going to be a strong resistance. We haven't touched back on that anymore. We haven't tested that anymore. So if I believe we'll bounce back between that. So do I see $4,500 within the next month, 2 months? Not really. It could take some time, depending on, again, the market, right? So it's highly sensitive to the news, of course. Again, I'm telling stuff you already know, but you get my idea. So what will happen, honestly, if we continue in this trajectory, just like Bitcoin, we'll reach back down to around $3,000, 3,100 bucks, something like that. Also, the next couple of days coming through. Now, we had a positive output, so coming from it looked like, and this is where it fakes you, right? So as we broke the trend line, coming from here, I'm sure we got excited thinking, oh, we're moving back up around 35. It got pushed back down, and then the following candle really kind of gave us that warning that it's going to continue downward, and that's what we have now, right? So we're looking at the candle that is pushing back down, especially on how it closes. That's not so good, right? So if it continues to go back down, if it starts to continue to retest there, that's definitely a big sign that we're going to be pushed down. And once we get to 3280, if we start dropping there, we have two options here as well. Like either it will stop, kind of bounce back from that. But what I'm thinking is stop losses will happen because people are panicking here. They probably bought, and then they put a stop loss if it starts to dip back down. And if it does dip back down, for that matter, it'll trigger a stop loss, which will drive us past that 3290 mark, and we'll keep dropping. Right, so that's my prognosis of what's going to happen. More than likely, I'm thinking like 65-70% that will continue in the downward trend. Now, I'm not always right. I'm not always wrong, but it's just what I see happening just out of habit, just out of just watching the market. So pay attention the next couple of days, especially tomorrow. If tomorrow we're in a downward trajectory, then I'm pretty positive that we're going to continue that drop to $3,000 pretty steeply. All right, as far as the market as a whole, the day is kind of so-so. Bitcoin minus 2.8, Ethereum's down by 2.5%. Solana is actually okay. It's kind of like mellowing out at 0.2%. XRP at 0.2%, kind of following along as well. No major movements in the market at all, right? And we still have about, we still have half the day left. PayPay is the one that did kind of is a big loser right now too, at 6.2%, but it's had a massive month. HBAR 3.9, you have Uniswap 3.2, DOT fell by 2.5%, Render at 3.1, STX is also at 6.6%. And even if you look at the month here, the month changed out pretty big. It was pretty good, but we're starting a new month, of course, in July. But last month it was much, much better. But we have some drops as well. Except for Brett. Brett is actually up by 34.6%. Cass is up by 22. Ton is at 20%. Right. So these are the big ones that's doing pretty well. But we have T at 49%, Algo at 19.7, Floki fell by 26, Tau 38. I mean, some hard hits, 29.1, 33.4, Beams at 35.5 as well. So we had some hits for the month, but even weekly, it's not so bad, right? So DOT actually jumped up by 9.3%. AVAX is up by 9.8. Solana is up by 9.3 as well. So these tokens have actually performed quite well within the week. And we'll cover some of them later on as well. I'm thinking we'll do probably AVAX and Solana and DOT, these three majors probably in the next couple of days. But that's why you should subscribe and hit the notification bell to follow up on these latest videos. Guys, that's it that I have for you today. Thank you for watching. Let me know where you think we are going within the next couple of months in crypto, even the next couple of days. And I will catch you again in the next video.